The Prime Minister will have to give MPs a vote on leaving the single market after a shock defeat in the House of Lords. Brexit legislation meant to set out a timeline for leaving the EU and the single market was rejected by the upper house. Peers backed retaining key aspects of the single market by continued participation in the European Economic Area (EEA), thanks in part to a significant Labour rebellion against Jeremy Corbyn's Brexit policy. They also backed a move to allow Britain's continued participation in EU agencies, removing the Brexit date of March 29, 2019 from the legislation and strengthening scrutiny of secondary legislation made by ministers. A Downing Street spokesman said, "We are disappointed by the votes last night. The legislation is intended to deliver the smooth Brexit which is in the interests of everybody in the UK. We will not accept attempts to use this legislation to stop us taking back control of our money, our laws and our borders." A department for exiting the European Union spokesman said the government was disappointed by the defeats and would consider the implications they had on the legislation. It comes as Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson publicly criticised the Prime Minister's proposal for a customs partnership after Brexit. She is understood to favour the arrangement, under which the UK would collect customs tariffs on behalf of the EU, as a means of breaking the deadlock in Brexit talks on the future of the Irish border. But she failed to win over senior colleagues at a meeting of her Brexit war cabinet last week, forcing her to ask officials to rethink the plan, along with a second, maximum facilitation, option using new technology to reduce friction at the border. Mr. Johnson used an interview with the Daily Mail to warn that the customs partnership option would create a whole new web of bureaucracy, and said it would be crazy. "It's totally untried and would make it very, very difficult to do free trade deals," he told the Mail. If you have the new customs partnership, you have a crazy system whereby you end up collecting the tariffs on behalf of the EU at the UK frontier, Downing Street has said. Theresa May continues to have full confidence in Boris Johnson. The spokesman declined to say whether the PM had spoken privately with the Foreign Secretary about his comments. More, Iran's Supreme Leader says Donald Trump lied in speech and cannot do a damn thing. More, Karen Matthews is terribly lonely, 10 years after kidnapping daughter Shannon.